meeting is being recorded.
We heard that one. Hey. Welcome to the brand new way of doing things. This is our first Obless. And in a couple minutes, I'm going to say a few things, and then I'm going to give it to these two beautiful ladies. As I promised, this is all about the animal, and I'll let them tell you that. But let me say a few things. First of all, welcome to the new Obless Hour. And what we're trying, I'm going to ask something for everyone. There's a lot of individuals that are doing webinars on your own times, your own dime, however you want it. We're asking you to come join us because we could do 2 webinars a day under an hour. Today we're doing Obless. This is the first one. It's going to be whatever they present, 30, 40 minutes, and then we'll be done. There'll be no discussion. 8 o'clock tonight, we'll be discussing what they talked about. So we're trying to do 2 a day. So we're asking if you have a webinar now and then you're doing it. This is going to be live streamed 15, 20 YouTube channels. Number one, you're going to get more people because it's going out so many YouTube channels and you're going to get a lot more attention. So if you are doing a webinar out there and yeah, you're paying for it, I get it. Not telling you to stop it, but come join the schedule that Ash put in place for us and you're going to get more coverage and you're going to get a lot more people watching it and it'll be fun. So on that note, this is our very first Obless on a Monday. I have 2 very, very beautiful ladies here that absolutely are doing something that I love and I know a lot of you love. So right now, I'm going to hand it over to Jennifer Dickerson and she's going to introduce the guest. And welcome, ladies. The show is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Dickinson from Canada, and I just wanted to welcome you all to our new daily routine. I was honored to be asked to host the Obless webinar today, and I'd like to thank Chris and Marty for all their help getting us organized. So I'd like to let you know I've been volunteering with this nonprofit for many years, and I have great respect for Belinda and the tireless work that she does, her and her husband Colin, on behalf of all the dogs around the world. So it's my great privilege to introduce my good friend Belinda Morrison, and she's going to tell you what she does with her rescue, CB Rescue.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer and Chris, for having me on the webinar today. I appreciate it so much. It's always great to try and get the word out about what CB Rescue does and even rescues and shelters in general. We are a rescue based, but we hope to be shelter based very soon. So maybe some people don't understand the difference. First of all, I guess I'll just kind of say how we started. So of course, I'm Belinda Morrison. People call me B, Bella. And we started this rescue in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And we started, well, actually, I started about 11 years ago was the first, maybe 12 years ago, was the first dog that we ever rescued. And that was actually in Calgary. It happened by accident. I got to tell you, I wasn't planning on opening a rescue. I was volunteering with other rescues here in Calgary, fostering, walking, doing whatever I could. But I always felt like, I always told my husband, if I had $1 million, I would open up a dog rescue. I always told him that. And I don't know why I had that in my head that I had to have all this millions of dollars to do this. Well, I kind of know now after doing this, but in saying that, there was actually a husky on a chain. And I don't know if you know anything about dog breeds, but huskies are roamers. They like to be roaming. They like to walk. They want to walk 4 or 6 hours. They're kind of an energetic dog. Anyways, this dog was on a chain, and he was at. I just happened to be at my friend's house, and she lived up, and the other people lived downstairs in this house. And she said, "Oh yeah, look in the backyard. There's this dog. Her name's Shakiri, they called her, and she's always on a chain." And I looked at her, and I was like, "A chain? Like, why is she on a chain? Like, yeah, they don't walk her. They don't do nothing." And I was like, oh, I was just mortified. And I went home and I said to my husband, well, I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to do something about this dog, because I cannot sit there knowing that dog is on a chain and it's a young dog and I can't leave the dog there. That's just not going to happen. So my husband's a lot more assertive, and I'm a lot more, I guess, emotional. He's more logical thinking. So I sent him over there And he actually bought the dog from the guy, and he made him sign a piece of paper because I just felt like he was going to come back. And he did. 3 days later, he wanted his dog back, but that didn't happen. Anyways, we bought the dog legitimately. And anyways, it was my first dog I ever adopted out. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to do it. I knew nothing. But I did the home check for the dog, and I actually went there twice. And anyways, I found her a beautiful home, and she actually just passed away last year. She was 12 years old. She stayed with that family all this time. And I was like, wow, if I can do this, hey, I can do this. So I started just kind of helping dogs. And then I don't know if you want me to go into how we started flying dogs into Canada. That is a whole different kind of ballgame too. What happened was about 8 years ago. So we started helping in Alberta, owner surrenders, dogs from Siksika Nation, Morley Nation. But then about 9 years ago, I went to the Dominican for a holiday. And I always bring donations. I don't care where I go. I don't care if it's for schools, children in need, women, animals. We always, every time my friends come with me, because I invite always my friends on these trips, I'm like, hey, you want to come on a trip? Okay, then you got to bring donations, because I always feel like you need to leave the country that you're visiting in better shape than what you found it. Very important to me. So we brought all these leashes and collars, and I just Googled Callares Rojos, which is red collar in Spanish. Forgive my Spanish, people. It's not very good. Excuse me. So anyways, we went down there and we did a spay and neuter clinic. We volunteered at the spay and neuter clinic. Oh, there's little Leah. She's from the Dominican there. But anyways, we volunteered there, and we did a spay and neuter clinic, and I did one before in Mexico. Anyways, long story, Janny, the head of the rescue there, says, do you want to come see our shelter? And I was like, okay, because they had the spay and neuter in this big old building, right? So I said, okay. So, and on the way down there, by the way, we already had 3 dogs at my house. So Colin says to me, we're not taking any dogs back. We're not bringing any dogs back. I said, oh, no. We're just bringing the donations and volunteering. So she takes us into this chicken wire. It's literal chicken wire with all these dogs in this chicken wire. And I was like, and she was so proud of this shelter, which in Canadian standards is like not very good, right? So I was like bawling my eyes out going, oh my God, look at these dogs. And Colin's looking at me. And then Missy comes up and she's got one eye that was somebody poked her or hit her with a pipe in her eye. And then this little Chihuahua was walking by her, and they were kind of coming up to Colin, and Colin is looking at me. He's looking at me and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, so anyways, we leave the shelter and Colin looks at me. Well, we can't leave those dogs there. So of course I'm like, no, we're not leaving the dogs there. He's like, oh, well, we have to bring them back. We have to bring some dogs back. No. So long story short, we brought Missy and Taco back, and they became our dogs. And that's how we started helping this shelter in the Dominican, because they literally had no one helping them. Like not one person was helping them. And to try and get dogs adopted in Dominican, India, Middle East, where I brought dogs back, I brought dogs from many different places. It's impossible to get them adopted there. People say, well, why aren't you focusing all in Canada? Well, I got news for you. The way we treat dogs in Canada is a heck of a lot different than many third world countries do. These dogs are looked at as rats, kind of like no good pests. So they don't want the dogs. Oh yeah, there's little Nico. So look at this little guy. He was born that way. We got him a little wheelchair too. Look, we got him a little wheelchair. I got it made for him, and we brought him back to Calgary. So basically that's how it happened. And I just started helping Janny. And then other rescues were phoning me. Hey, we heard good work about CB Rescue. Oh, there's little Mia. They said that they would have to amputate her leg, and look at her doing her water therapy here in Calgary. These dogs get absolutely wonderful lives when we bring them back to Canada. You know, I always tell my husband, when I place a dog in a home, it has to be as good as my house or better. And I'm hoping for better. These dogs are taken care of by these families like you wouldn't believe. There's Joey. I don't know if you can see in that picture there, but they actually had, see that small chain? He was chained there in that tree for 5 years. Then he went to the outdoor shelter for 8 years. I just brought him back before the ban came into effect. He's a 13-year-old dog, lovely dog. But these dogs would get no chance of life. They're either going to be poisoned, bludgeoned to death, ran over, acid thrown on them, burned. Joey, you can see the burn mark right there. Do you see it right there on him? These dogs are tortured. We just brought some huskies back from Qatar, and you don't want to know the life that they had. In the hot and humid heat in tiny kennels, they were abused in every way you could ever imagine. I can't even get into details because it's going to be too much for most people to hear. But let's just put it this way. Abuse in every way you could ever imagine. Yeah, and I'm talking physical and sexual abuse with these animals. It's absolutely disgusting. This is what people do. This is what they do to these dogs. And without us bringing them back to Canada or US and getting them homes, these dogs will die. They will not have any quality of life. So my rescue is very much, we don't discriminate against breed. We don't discriminate. Look at little Papita. Oh, little puppies. We don't discriminate against breed or location of the dog. A lot of people will say, yeah, you know, how come you don't help in Canada? Well, we do. We help a lot in Canada, in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, BC, Ontario. But you have to understand, when someone reaches out, or if I know of a dog that's in need, I can't turn my back. Like, I just can't turn my back. Oh, sorry, well, you're not from Canada, so I'm not going to help you. That's like saying, if you're driving in, you know, India, and you see somebody on the side of the road that needs your help. Oh, well, sorry, you're not from Canada, so yeah, I'm not going to help you, bud. No, that's not how we should work as a human race. First of all, we're all on this earth together. These dogs do not get asked to be born on this earth and treated so horribly. They don't ask for this, and humans don't ask for it either. And we should be helping humans wherever you live, and dogs wherever they are born. Yeah, I mean, this Emma, look at her. She's got that. Look what they did. They took a machete to that dog. She's living a great life in Toronto right now. Here's Max, the German Shepherd dog. This was a sad case. You see that chain right there? This dog is so kind and loving. You have no idea. All these dogs right here, kind and loving dogs, despite their abuse and torture. He was dragged behind a motorbike on the rocks, screaming in pain. And then they tied him to the pole there. And I just brought him back a few months ago. He's living in Saskatchewan with a lady and a man, Roxanne and Kenny. They have two of my dogs there, both of them from the Dominican. And he is getting treatment like you wouldn't believe. He goes to water therapy. He gets acupuncture. He is, it's just crazy. These dogs are treated like kings and queens, as they should be, in my opinion, when they come to Canada, and they are given such a great life. How can I not do this? How can I not? I just can't turn my back on these animals. So basically that's how we started. And then of course, shelters and rescues all over the world were phoning me. Mexico, I've taken from Qatar, Iran, Mexico, Dominican, United States. Well, you don't want to know where I've been in the United States, trying to pull dogs out of high kill shelters. There's little Maya getting great surgery there in the capital of Santo Domingo. Do you see her eyes shut? Yeah, we did surgery on her eyes there. The spay and neuter clinics, as you can see there. There's Chloe. She was treated for heartworm. I brought her back to Canada. She's healthy. These dogs are, we go above and beyond when we bring dogs into Canada, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but to get a dog into Canada, you only need rabies vaccine and a health certificate. We go above. So we do blood work. We do dentals. We do surgeries. We do amputations. We do tumor removals. We do chemo. We do anything that we can do for these dogs. We do it. And then we bring them into Canada healthy. Not only do we bring dogs healthy into Canada, when they, between 2 and 4 months, they get blood tests again when they arrive into Canada. Why do I do that? I am probably one of the only rescues in all the world that do this. Even after adoption, they get blood work done because I don't want to miss anything. I want to make sure that every dog is healthy and with nothing that I missed. And if it is missed, then we correct the problem. So again, people are miseducated about how we bring dogs into Canada. Are we bringing sick dogs into Canada? No, absolutely not. I don't want to bring dogs sick into Canada. Why would I do that for? It's going to cost me $10,000 here, $1,000 in the Dominican or Mexico or Iran or wherever I bring the dogs in. From South Korea, I brought dogs in from South Korea. Like I said, all over the world, people are really, they hear the good work that we do. They see the care that we give these dogs when we place the dogs. I don't just hand out dogs and people give me an application. Here you go. No. So what do? Like we do an interview. I do an application. We do a home check. We have a great home checker that we've got a 10-page checklist, what we look for in a home. You know, we do a trial week. So we know that the dog is going to be happy in that home. We also provide a trainer to the house. Most rescues do not do that. Does that cost me money? Yes. Running my rescue at high standard, does it cost me way more money than somebody that doesn't care? Yes. But I told my husband the day that I started this rescue, if it isn't about the dogs, then I will not rescue anymore. The dogs have to be number one. If it's going to be anything else, I'm not doing it. I will not have a part of it. I do everything 110% in my life. I was a personal trainer for 30 years, a nutritionist. Nutrition is very important to me when it comes to the dogs. Again, we feed the dogs raw food and fruits and vegetables, and I just don't feed kibble. Yeah, I'm a little bit out there, I guess, when it comes out with the dogs, but there's our place in the Dominican. We're actually working on that right now. We are building a physical shelter in the Dominican. Once we do this physical shelter for the dogs, we actually want to build one in Alberta. Then I want to build one in somewhere in India. I would like to build one in the Middle East. I would like to build one in South Korea. I mean, this is our plans down the road to, there's our facility there getting built. There's the gates. So I don't know if you can see at the bottom there, but we got special gates made so the little guys can't get through the gates in the bottom there. Again, the gates, the walls are very high. Some of them are 9 feet high there. And it's because people will throw poison into the facilities to kill the dogs. This is what happens. So we have to make sure that the dogs are going to be safe in this facility with the walls and the special doggy doors and the special kennels that we're going to be making. We're also going to do a wading pool for them and like in a little agility part for the dogs. Oh my gosh, look at all the dogs. Gosh, how many dogs have I rescued? It's got to be over 900 dogs now. We just had 4 arrive from Mexico a few nights ago. Geez, what can I say? Jennifer, did I talk too much? I don't know if you have any more questions, but I can always think of something. I don't know if you want me to tell a story, maybe about one of the dogs.
Yeah, so I did have a couple questions here. So you mentioned flight angels.
Yes.
So how important are flight angels for you?
Well, they're very important. During COVID, I did 22 flights during the heat of COVID. When nobody was flying, I said to my husband the other day, I'm sure I'm only 5% of the world that had been constantly flying during COVID. There were some times where I was the only one on the plane, but I kept going because I knew that I had to go get those dogs. A flight angel is pretty much a person that sits on a plane and they bring the dog into Canada. They go through customs. We're there to clear the dogs, which means pay the taxes on the dogs when they arrive as an import. We do have an import license into Canada. I've never had a problem bringing a dog into Canada in the 10 years I've been flying dogs in. I've never had an issue with Canada Customs. I've never had an issue with CFIA. They have an import ban right now, which is unfortunate. It means that no dogs can come into Canada from 113 different countries, including India, Middle East, all over the place. Turkey, Thailand, none of them are allowed in right now. We are trying to get it. We're trying to get an exemption for rescue so we could still get these dogs. Because what's going to happen is breeders are going to come up in full effect, because there won't be any small to medium dogs coming in. And breeders are going to see this and they're going to hop on the opportunity to breed more dogs, which we do not need. We need dogs that are already on this earth, adopted and rescued into families. That's what we need. So Flight Angel is pretty easy. As you can see there, there's Sherry in the blue shirt. She just got on the plane. She got off the plane in Calgary or in Toronto. We clear the dogs. We bring them into Calgary. That's it. You basically sit on the plane. We pay for the dog's flight. We pay the taxes. We deal with customs. I deal with the government when they land. It's pretty easy way of saving a dog. So flight angels are imperative. Right now, we cannot bring dogs in, but if you would like to adopt a dog in one of those countries as a personal pet, so let's say, Jennifer, you saw a dog at Cagares Rojos or somewhere in India or wherever, and you want to adopt a dog, you are absolutely allowed to do that still, bringing a dog into Canada, as long as it's your own personal pet. I could still fly a flight angel. You could bring the dog in. That's fine. It's just commercial, which means rescues are not allowed to do it right now. We hope to get an exemption for rescues and shelters. I actually wrote a letter to Mr. Pierre Pellevue, I hope I'm saying his name right, a personal letter to his personal email. He is the UCP, is that it? He just got elected here into Canada, and he would like to be Prime Minister one day. And he loves animals. So I've written him a letter to try and see if we can sit at the table with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, who is the agency that put this policy into place without talking to rescues and shelters. Again, we have no rabies in Canada, by the way. We have not one documented case of canine rabies in Canada. Not one. United States does. Mexico is considered rabies free, which I won't go into details about that. But let's just put it this way. I'm not fully assured that this is just about rabies. I'm sure there's other things that are going on, like everything in the world. But at the end of the day, I really don't care. I want to bring healthy dogs into Canada. I want to keep Canadians safe. I want to keep the dogs safe. I want to keep Canadian dogs safe. I want to bring dogs into Canada that are healthy, period. And I've been doing it for 9 years with success. Yeah, we're a small to medium rescue, but we hope to really help dogs across the world because they don't have a voice. And without humans, these dogs will suffer. And here I am 9 years later. We're a registered nonprofit. We became a registered nonprofit society in Alberta of April of 2017, even though I was rescuing before that. The reason why we became a registered nonprofit is because I realized that I cannot do this myself. I can't. Financially, you don't want to know. It will take everything you have to run a dog rescue and do it the right way. Lots of money, as Jennifer knows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah, true. Lots of money.
So,
yeah.
So that brings me to my next question. So when you're talking about help and volunteers, how important is it for people to help foster and to adopt these dogs so that they have somewhere safe to be? How does that, play into your rescue and to all the rescues? I'm assuming it's a very important piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, without fosters save lives. Okay, when you don't have a physical building, like I hope to in Alberta. I mean, like I said, we're working on ours in the Dominican, and then we hope to work in one in Alberta, and then just keep expanding. But for right now, we are foster based. Without fosters, I can't bring dogs into Canada. So I'm not a willy-nilly kind of person. So I'm not going to bring 30 dogs into Canada and have nowhere to put them. No, I don't do that. I want to make sure that I have a foster. I want to make sure we have money for vetting if we need to. I want to make sure I have a trainer set up if we need it. I want to make sure we have the right food for the dog. I want to make sure we have a game plan for every dog. There's sometimes in rescue, though, that doesn't always work, right? I mean, I might get a situation where somebody phones me, hey, we need you to take this dog, please. It's an emergency situation. I gotta take the dog. I might not have a game plan, but for the majority of dogs, we have a game plan, and that's fosters. Fosters are an integral part of every single rescue around the world. When you foster, this is what I tell people. And when you adopt, you're actually saving the dog that you saved, and you're also saving another dog because you just made a spot for another dog to come into the shelter. So every time you adopt, you save 2 dogs. And most people don't realize that. It's so important. I can't even tell you without these families. As you can see some of the pictures there. And so our slogan, I don't know if you can see it there, it says saving dogs, changing lives. And one day I was sleeping and I woke up with a start and went, oh my gosh, we saved dogs, but we changed the lives of not only the dogs, but the people. The people, I can't tell you, there's a family that phoned me, Belinda, my husband, I won't say their names, of course. He has severe depression and, suicidal attempts. And with this dog in this house, it's changed him. He wants to live. I had another young gentleman. He was only maybe 23 at the time. He was depressed. He had no friends. I adopted a dog to him. He's doing photography classes with the dog. He's going out in the community. I don't want to get emotional, but these dogs, they change people, and they do so much good. And
Yeah,
they're so innocent, and they're just lovely, and they're just. I have learned so much in this rescue about people, about humanity, about these dogs that do not deserve this. And they're just so loving. I mean, a lot of people say to me, oh, shelter dogs or street dogs they got behavior problems. Well, I have to tell you, that is absolutely untrue.
Yeah, and I can testify to that because my little Oscar that you brought back from the Dominican that we love dearly, that we've had for 4 years, he is the best dog, the most loving dog. He learned everything. He had to learn English because he was a Spanish speaking dog. So he had to relearn English. I learned some Spanish terms, but you know, he's a very smart dog. He's a loving dog. He's the best dog. You just can't get a better dog than a rescue. They just, it's almost like they inherently know that you saved their lives, and they will love you until the day they die. Sorry, now I'm going to get emotional, but
it's true.
They're just unbelievable.
You know how many families tell me, hey, Belinda, I just want you to know I have the best dog. And you know what I tell them? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But these street dogs are absolutely incredible. I mean, we pulled a dog out of a hole in the Dominican that was bound. They bound her mouth, they bound her legs, they hit her with a machete, they kicked her, they punched her, they put her down a hole, and someone heard her crying. The fire department had to come. They went into that hole. The firefighter went down. They found 16 dead dogs trying to crawl out of that hole. Crawling, they were trying to get out. And this is what this man did in the Dominican. We got Anita out. We got Anita out, believe me. We have a video of her coming out of the hole screaming. And she was placed in a home here in High River in Alberta. She since has passed away, but I can't tell you people won't believe it. They're like, this dog has been macheted, hit, poisoned, burned, everything you could ever, strangled, and they act like this. And I'm like, yeah. And it's because they're grateful. They know that they are rescued. Even dogs that I haven't seen in 5-6 years, they see me, and I'm not joking. When I would see Security, because she lived in Fort Mac, she only saw me once every few years. When that dog saw me, she would let go of that leash. She came to me. She jumped on me. She goes, I'm sorry, Belinda, that she's jumping on you. But she doesn't do that to people. She recognized that you took her off the chain. And I'm like, they do. They absolutely remember. I cannot tell you. I just wish more people would be educated about rescues and how they change your life, how I can't even begin to tell you how, everybody, I think people go through life and they don't understand. Maybe they don't know what their passion is, but I can tell you 100%, I did fitness for 30 years and I thought it was my passion, and it was. But when I started this rescue, I knew this is what I'm supposed to do. I know that I'm supposed to help these dogs. There's no doubt in my mind. I was placed on this earth at this time to do this work. And we can't do it without you. Mm-hmm. We cannot do it without people. Like, a lot of people phone me up, you know what they tell me? Hey, Belinda, I can't do what you do, but I can help you. And there you go. And it's been expanding ever since. And we're about quality of life for the dogs. I'm not about bringing, like I said, 100 dogs into Canada and just willy-nilly all over the place. Sorry. I'm sorry, I apologize. But I do get emotional. If I didn't cry, well, there's a problem. I do get very emotional about these dogs because they're so innocent. When I look at them, they look like little children to me. Mm-hmm. Like, I just love children and babies and toddlers, and I think they're just so innocent children. And animals are the same way in my eyes.
And these are just a few, these last two slides, of the thousands of dogs you've saved. And these dogs are all in great homes now, and they're all loved and they're all happy. And it's just so great to see. So great to see the hard work that you and Colin have done. It's just been, it's amazing. Amazing that you'd put your lives on hold for these dogs.
Yeah, a lot of people phoned me up, a lot of rescues in the beginning, and said, oh, Belinda, you're in for it. You have no idea what you're getting yourself into here. And I didn't kind of listen to them because I didn't want to hear it. But they were right, and I was wrong. But in saying that, I have a husband that's very loving of the dogs. I mean, there's not many husbands that would do what my husband has done when it comes to, like, I've sold what, 2 houses I bought in the last year and a half to help pay for the stuff going on in the Dominican. We had to do it. We've had to sacrifice our social life, friends, our homes, our home. I was homeless for 5 months until we figured out what we were going to do. I mean, we didn't know what was going to happen. But my husband is he's like, you know what? We got to do what we got to do to sacrifice, to get ahead and to help these dogs. And he's willing to do it. And I'm willing to do it. But people don't really realize, I feel sorry for all the people really that run shelters and rescues right now. Because it's difficult. It's difficult to get funding. To get funding. We don't get funding. The only funding we get are through donations and the adoption fees. That's it. And, but, like I said, that's not why you run a rescue. You run a rescue because you love the dogs. And I'm passionate. I think people can tell that I'm passionate about these animals. I just can't see me doing anything else right now. I can't see it. No.
And I think, one of the exciting things is with Obless, it's gonna change the world. There's just so many people. The 1.4 million of us we're determined to change the world. And I know there is so many people out there that love dogs and would be willing to help all the shelters around the world, not just yours. There's so many people out there that are trying to save these dogs and help animals in general. And I just really hope that people find it in their hearts to once they have the ability to help out and just, adopt the dog. Get fosters, do whatever they can to, save these dogs from a horrible life.
There's always something somebody can do. Some people might say, oh, there's nothing I can do. Yes, there is. Absolutely, there is. I don't ever want to hear anybody say there's nothing I can do. Like Chris just said, like he found that little kitten and he went down the street and found someone to help him.
Yeah.
He could have turned his eyes and said, oh, well. But he decided not to do that because he can do something just like I can, just like you can. People use that as an excuse. And I am a go-getter. I've been a go-getter since the day I was born. And when I get an idea in my head, it's like, no, I'm going to go do this. So watch out, world, because I'm coming through. And I'm not going to let anybody stop me. I'm not going to let finances stop me. I'm not going to let anything stop me. Because this is why I was put on this earth. And I'm not saying it's not hard work. People look at me, oh my God, Linda, like you're so stressed. Look at all the stuff you have to do. Look at all the drama and the things you have to take. It's part of rescue. It's part of rescue. But when I see pictures of these dogs, Jennifer, this is what makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah. And, like I said earlier, I volunteered with you for many years, and my dog Oscar is up in the top right-hand corner, the little brown and white fella, and the one second from the left. So this was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done is I fostered Dolly. So I think her name now is Aspen, and I fostered her for 8 months before she finally got her forever home because she was a puppy rescue off Morley Reserve, and she looked like she was going to get big. So people were like, we don't want a big dog. So we raised her and she was the most loving dog. She was like as close to perfect as you could get. And, we probably would have kept her, but my daughter was allergic to her. So I probably would have kept her, but she found her forever home with the family. And I got to say, giving her up, I cried for 2 days. I just lost it. But, I know in my heart that she's with a good home. We found her a good home. Belinda found her the best parent she could have. And it warms my heart to know that she is in a good place and not running away from a pack of wild dogs trying to kill her. So is where she was found. So, everybody can do just a little bit, to help out. That's
if everybody just did something small, like I just said in the beginning. If everybody just did something small, you might not realize what you did and the impact that it has on the world. You don't know. I'm talking with anything, humans, environment, dolphins, like Chris said. I don't care if you are passionate that the sky is blue and you want to keep it blue, then go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and this is what I tell people. Your passion, find it and do something about it. And then find like-minded people like yourself that want to help you. Because when you get a group of people, you have strength in numbers and you can change the world. Like I had a lady, I remember this very clearly. I was in Vegas and we pulled 2 dogs from the high kill shelter. They were going to be dead the next day, these 2 little chihuahuas. And I was in line getting ready to get on the airplane. And this lady says, "Oh, what are you doing with these 2 dogs?" I had one and my husband had one. And I said, "Oh, we saved them from the high kill shelter. We're going to bring them into Canada." She looks at me. "Oh, well, you're only saving 2 dogs." And that resonated with me. And I looked at that lady and I said, "Yeah, but tell that to this dog that would have been dead tomorrow morning." So yes, we have only saved 1 dog at a time sometimes. That is very true. But look at the strength in numbers now. Close, probably, I don't even know how many now. Close to 1,000 maybe. I don't even know, Jennifer. I haven't kept track. Someone told me I should have pictures of all over the walls about all the dogs that we've I just haven't had time to do that.
Quite a few on the CB Rescue Facebook page is where I got most of these pictures from, and it was hard to choose which ones because there was so many cute ones and so many ones that are just alive now because of you. So I want to thank you on behalf of the Obless team for coming out today. I don't know, do you have anything else you would like to add to your discussion today, or?
No, I think that was it. I just encourage people to go out and make a difference. Like I said, something small, and it has a ripple. It has a ripple effect. There's no doubt in my mind. And you know, I still hear stories today. People phone me up and say, you know, this dog changed my life. This is what happened, and this is what keeps rescues and shelters going. Is when we see success in the homes that we place the dogs, it keeps us moving forward, because believe me, there's days that I didn't know if I could carry on because it is hard work, but it's so rewarding. I can't even put it into words. And now my children, I have 4 grown children. One of them is a trainer for us. My kids all love dogs. I mean, it's kind of like you ripple effect into your children too. When your children see you help a creature that can never say thank you to you, it does something to the child. It does. Because these dogs can't go on social media. "Oh, thank you, Belinda and Colin, for saving my life." No, they can't. And I don't give a crap. I don't care. I tell people all the time, I don't care if I'm never thanked again. Honestly, you never have to thank me for doing what I'm doing. Nope, I don't want it. I don't want to hear it. Go thank somebody else, because that's not why I'm doing this. I do it for purely the dog's quality of life, and I think every dog deserves a loving home. Period. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Bella, how many hours a week estimate do you do this? What's your schedule like?
It's 24/7. I mean, I'll get calls 11 o'clock at night. Colin and I've even gotten calls. "Hey, there's a lost dog." 2 o'clock in the morning, we're out looking for a dog. I mean, it is 24/7. I've worked, my voice has actually changed. In the last 3 and 4 years, my voice has changed. This is not my voice, but because I talk so much in interviewing people, talking about nutrition with dogs, talking about behavior, talking about training. I mean, I've probably worked some weeks, 80 hours a week, 110%. I don't stop working. I don't stop. It doesn't, rescue does not stop, because the abuse of animals does not stop. So that means I have to keep working. I never thought that I would work this many hours and have to pay to work in my rescue. But that's what's happened. But like I said, I would do it all over again, 110. If I knew where I'd be right now, 10 years ago, would I have started this? 100%.
This is the example. I'm glad you're on here, Bella, if I might call you that, because I love that name.
Sure.
You're the example of people that myself is looking for, all the angels of Onpassive are looking for. We've often talked about what we want to do. And my little brother, Marty DeGarmo, always says, there's people out there that are doing this without getting paid. You just don't know who they are. They're the real heroes. And as an example, I'm using you as one of those heroes, and Jennifer, to say you're out doing this already. We never have to, what do we say? Rebuild the wheel. How do they say that? We don't have to do that because we have individuals like you who are out there doing this. Now, there's a lot of animal lovers in this world, whether it's dogs, cats. I've seen elephants. You heard about Nelson the donkey, the big star on YouTube or TikTok.
Instagram. Oh, TikTok.
No? Have you heard Nelson of the donkey?
The one that gives hugs?
Yeah,
That the one?
Oh,
he does
I
talks.
love all animals.
Yeah. People don't understand is animals affect your lives one way or the other. Maybe you don't know it. I've had animals my whole life, and I'm allergic, as you can see, my eyes to everything. But it never stopped me from having animals. What I loved in the past, I would say 10 years, could be a little more. They have animals that go into old folks' homes or kids that are in the hospital with cancers.
Yes.
And these dogs just change their whole world, especially the senior citizens, because they all remember their animals. And here you got big dogs, little dogs, and they bring them right into these old folks' home. And you could see, they said you could definitely see a difference on the patient's face, because wow, they're just, all they're doing is petting that animal. That animal's putting their head on their lap. And I mean, animals are important in this world, whether people believe it or not, especially dogs. I'm a dog lover. I'm a cat lover. I'm deathly allergic to cats, but I still pet them. If I see an animal on the freeway running, I'm the guy that stops traffic to grab that dog. And I know you're one of those people. And Jennifer's one of those people. But that's who we're, listen, now, everyone that's watching right now, this is what we're looking for. Now, Bella's doing dogs, cats. She's even said she's done cats.
Yes, we've
All
done
right?
cats.
She said something very important. One dog at a time. What did Mufareh say? We could change people's lives one at a time. Same theory.
Same theory.
Really is
yeah.
the same thing. And
Yeah.
everyone's got a different love. Like I said, we've got people that will run in front of a bulldozer to save a tree.
Good.
There's different ways and ideas of doing things about love that they have. And that's what I love about Obless. Now, Obless definitely is going to be able to fund these projects you're doing. It's going to take that stress off you, even though you're going to keep doing it, no matter what. But it's going to take the stress off you. But it's also going to give you your time and freedom back to do more for the dogs. I believe that, So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this explodes. And you're one of many, many people who do these rescues, no matter what kind of animal. You see the guys on the beaches saving seals. They look for a seal that's got nets wrapped around them. And these guys get out every morning and they look for them and they grab them and they cut them off, or a big turtle that's wrapped up in stuff, all kinds of stuff. Listen, the truth is people in this world still care about other things than themselves.
Yeah.
And you're one of those people.
Yeah. Well, we have to believe that. We have to, because you know what? It's funny that you say that, because rescue can make you very cynical because of what I see with animals and the abuse and neglect I see with these animals. But then, it got me thinking, but look on the flip side. Look how many people want to help. Look how many people want to, hey, Belinda, we're going to help you. We're going to help you. You have to keep focused on that, because if you focus on the negative, you will stop as fast as you could shake a stick at.
If you look behind me, Bill Musk, my brother Bill Musk, he made me this quick picture. Check it out. We got some animals on the
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Bill.
Look.
Isn't that cute?
Oh, that's
I sent
cute.
it to, I already sent it to Jennifer. She could send it over to you.
Yeah, I will.
And I thought that would be a little surprise.
So sweet.
Yeah, no, you're a sweet person, because people don't realize, like you said, what it takes to do something like this.
Yeah.
It ain't like,
I didn't know.
yeah, you're not. When you said you were homeless for a couple months because you were selling things to keep this going.
Yeah.
Selfless
Yeah.
person. I love that. That's what I wish everyone, boy, if everyone turned into you for 1 hour, can you imagine 1 hour of the 24-hour day, how great the world would be for 1 hour?
It would be awesome.
ridiculous. It would be so good. And I think that we can do it. I think that honestly, I have faith in humans that we can overcome, everything, greed and there's nothing better in life than helping someone or something that can never say thank you. We're a very social, people are on TikTok, Instagram. Oh, look, I gave $100 to this, whatever. It's not about that, guys. It's about doing things without anybody even knowing that you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I'm not going to get all religious, but in the Bible, it does say that. I mean, it says that, when you get rewarded for all the things that you do and nobody knows what you do. That's not why you do it. You do it because it's the right thing to do and because you want to change the world. Not for credit, not for thank yous, not for people thanking me. I don't want it. Honestly, I'm just happy to do this. And I'm happy that Jennifer told me about Onpassive and I, because she knew that I was running this rescue, and she's like, oh, that Belinda, she needs help.
Yeah. The minute I heard about Obless, I was thinking about all the charities I work with, and I was like, oh, Belinda needs this. Oh, this is going to be so good for the dogs. This is going to be incredible. And people around the world will help out, and we'll get these dogs saved, and we'll get all the animals saved, because I'm an animal lover, and I help out wherever I can. And, I've actually seen some horrible things. And one of the worst things I actually saw, because I've never been to surgery, but I watched them pull a straw out of the turtle's nose. When I was in Maui, they found a turtle on the beach and there was a straw sticking out of its nose, and they actually had to pull. It was the most horrifying thing. And I have not used a straw since. I was just like, yep, no more straws for humanity. No, they got to go.
Exactly. Plastic bags, bye-bye. Yeah. Straws, bye-bye.
Yeah.
I mean, you think that your little choice does not make a difference, but it does. Because like I said, strength in numbers. We can do great things as a group. Yeah. And I don't care what anybody says. I know this to be a fact. I do.
Yeah.
100%.
And we on passive, I can never say that word, Chris, on Passivinians. Is that what it is?
They're a passive, something like that.
Us people of Onpassive will change the world. Yeah. We will.
Yeah. Brand ambassadors is much easier for
brand ambassadors. There's the
Well, listen, I want to personally thank you, Miss Bella. Jennifer, thank you for bringing us this young lady. Now,
you're welcome.
We are going to be doing a discussion and feedback at this at 8 o'clock tonight. You're more than welcome to join, where you'll hear feedback. There might even be a question or two. Me, I have no questions. Actually, if I got a question, I'm just going to call you, Bella. You did a very good presentation. You explained everything. You showed your heart. Your heart is definitely on your sleeve, and that's what we're all looking for. And there's a lot of animals. Mine's sitting right next to me, looking at me like, who am I talking to? Animals, believe it or not, do change the world. And yes, a lot of them are abused with like a lot of things, but I say, let's stop the abuse. You have an individual, and I say, I want to put Bella out of a job. I want to put Bella out of a rescue job, because I want people to treat people and animals with respect. And I would rather say, remember that Bella lady that changed the world because she was saving dogs? And you're not at once, you're everywhere, all over the world. That blew me away when I heard that. But I want to be able to say, hey, guess what? Bella's in Hawaii right now, relaxing, because everyone's being good to animals now. She brought out something that was so
I hope.
I hope so. But she'll go to Hawaii and she'll go to the shelter and she'll rescue dogs there, because she's done that before. I know that for a fact.
You can't take it out of her. You can't. You'll never be able to take it out of her now. She's addicted to helping. So
impossible.
But come back tonight at 8 o'clock. Jennifer, it's a regular Zoom then. We get some good feedback and very. You know what? I'm not going to say impressed. I'm going to say, wow, I love seeing. There's a better word I can use and say I'm impressed with what you do. I'm thankful for what you do.
Thank you.
All right. I'm not gonna say I'm impressed by you. I'm amazed by you. Or I don't think there's a good enough word for people like you. And I'll think of one sooner or later, but I want to thank you for coming on here and blowing us all away. And Jennifer, thank you for finding. Listen, I'm asking everyone out here that's listening right now. Go look for people like Bella, because they're gonna show you the way. And I don't care if Bella's doing the animals. We have people that are out taking care of homeless kids with no food. Those are the people we want, and those are the people we're gonna say, hey, you've been doing this for 20 years. She's been doing it for 9 years. She knows what she's doing. All right. Funding. I just need a little bit of funding. I could do more. But along the way, you're gonna find out that, like Bella did, it's gonna get in your blood and you're not gonna want to stop doing it, which is gonna create a massive amount of people just wanting to give all the time. It's a great feeling to give. It's also even a better feeling when you're actually helping, making a difference. So I thank you very much, lady. And I'm giving you two the last words.
Well, I just wanted to thank you, Chris, and thank Obless and thank Onpassive for giving us the opportunity to come and share our rescue with you. I say our because I'm a volunteer, so and it's close to my heart. I know Belinda does 99% of the work, but you know, this is a hard thing for me as well. So I just wanted to thank everybody for listening to us, and I hope that if you find in your heart to go, either go to cbrescue.ca or any local shelter, any rescue in your area, and help them out, help the dogs out and change the lives of these dogs. So I just wanted to thank you, and I'll hand it over to Belinda if she has anything else to say.
I think I've said everything. I don't know what else to say, but thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it, you know, getting the word out and what we do. And I think people can see what the work that we do. And it's not like some big organization where you don't really know what's kind of going on. When I say, hey, we picked up a dog, it needs surgery. You could see us do the surgery. You could see us take care of the dog. You could see the dog fly into Canada. You can see the dog in the home now. So you see the progression of the dog. And I think that's really lovely. And I think it takes time for people to trust people. You know, it does. That's one thing I've learned. People need to, hey, is this Belinda for real? Is she let me watch her for a bit. I think I gotta see this lady, what she's doing. But you know what? And then they see and they say, yeah, that lady's legit. She's legitimately going from A, B, C, and D. And you can see the progression of the dog. There you go. That's it.
Beautiful. And I do want to apologize to our hard of hearing or deaf community. It was a late start. I forgot to turn on the CC. That was turned on because Marty was the host. And Lynn Nakamoto, thank you for reminding me. And we turned it on for you. So if you want to know anything you missed, call me or text me and I'll text it to you. But ladies, I love you to death. Bella, keep doing. Tell your husband I said I'm giving him a big shout out too. Colin, I believe his name was. Keep doing what you're doing, man. That's another good thing. A loving couple that's doing something together always makes it work. So thank you very much. Just to let you all know, it's almost 1 o'clock, and you seen how much was said at 1 o'clock because we didn't have a Q&A or anything like that. So we're looking for more stories every single day. We want to do something different, but tonight feedback on the animal rescue. And we want to hear what you got. And ladies, thank you again.
Thank you so much. Hey, goodbye. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.